Ravi and Mira had been married for 8 years, living a seemingly happy life in a bustling city. Their days were filled with routine: early morning tea, hurried breakfasts, long work hours, and quiet evenings in front of the television. Though they cared deeply for each other, the spark they once had seemed to fade, buried under the weight of responsibilities and unspoken grievances. Ravi was a software engineer, often working late into the night. Mira, on the other hand, managed a boutique and loved the creativity her work brought into her life. However, she often found herself lonely in the evenings, longing for Ravi's attention. It wasn't that Ravi didn't love her. He did. But his demanding job left him exhausted, and over time, they both began to drift apart emotionally. It was during one of these quiet evenings that Mira reconnected with Arjun, an old college friend, through social media. Their conversation started innocently: memories of their college days, shared jokes, and updates on their lives. But as weeks passed, their chats grew deeper and more frequent. Arjun, now a successful entrepreneur, seemed to understand Mira in ways she hadn't felt in years. His compliments, attention, and the excitement of their conversations filled a void in her life. Ravi, unaware of these interactions, found himself distracted as well. He had struck a camaraderie with Priya, a new colleague at work. Priya was young, vibrant, and shared Ravi's passion for technology. They often stayed late at the office, collaborating on projects and talking about their dreams and ambitions. Ravi found himself looking forward to these moments, feeling a sense of connection that had been missing in his marriage. Both Ravi and Mira were caught in their own emotional entanglements, neither realizing the distance growing between them. It wasn't until one evening, when Ravi returned home earlier than usual, that the cracks in their relationship became evident. He noticed Mira laughing at her phone, a smile he hadn't seen in years lighting up her face. His curiosity turned into suspicion, and he began to wonder if there was someone else. Mira, too, had started noticing Ravi's change in behavior. The late-night phone calls, his newfound enthusiasm for work, and the way he seemed distracted even when he was at home. The tension between them grew, unspoken but palpable. One night, unable to hold back, Ravi confronted Mira. His voice trembled as he asked if she was hiding something from him. Mira, taken aback, denied it at first, but eventually admitted to her growing closeness with Arjun. Hurt and anger filled the room. But before Ravi could retaliate, Mira pointed out his own behavior. The conversation spiraled into accusations, tears, and finally, silence. In the days that followed, both Ravi and Mira were forced to confront the truth. Their emotional infidelities were a symptom of a larger problem: the lack of communication and effort in their marriage. They realized that while they had been seeking solace elsewhere, what they truly needed was to reconnect with each other. Determined to rebuild their relationship, Ravi and Mira sought counseling. It wasn't easy to confront their feelings and mistakes, but through honest conversations and a renewed effort to prioritize each other, they slowly began to heal. The journey was long and challenging, but it brought them closer than ever before. Reminding them why they fell in love in the first place, Ravi and Mira's decision to go to counseling was the first real step they took together in years. The sessions were uncomfortable at first, as they had to face truths about themselves and their relationship. Mira admitted how lonely she had felt, craving the attention and affection Ravi used to give her. Ravi confessed that he had buried himself in work, not just because of the demands of his job, but also because he didn't know how to express his own frustrations and insecurities. Their counselor encouraged them to start small, simple gestures to rebuild trust and intimacy. Ravi began coming home earlier, making an effort to join Mira for dinner and genuinely ask about her day. Mira, in turn, started showing more interest in Ravi's work, asking him about his projects and offering her perspective. Slowly, they began rediscovering the little things that had connected them in the first place. One evening, Ravi surprised Mira by recreating one of their favorite college memories, a rooftop dinner under the stars. He cooked her favorite dishes, clumsily but with love, and played the songs they used to listen to when they were dating. Mira was moved to tears, realizing how much effort Ravi was putting into making her feel special again. Mira, too, found ways to bring joy back into their relationship. She planned weekend getaways, pulling Ravi away from his laptop and immersing them in nature or quiet beachside sunsets. They started rediscovering each other, learning how much they had grown and changed, but also realizing that their love could evolve with them. Over time, their emotional entanglements with Arjun and Priya naturally faded. Mira stopped responding to Arjun's messages, choosing instead to invest that energy into her marriage. Ravi, too, set clear boundaries with Priya at work, focusing on his relationship with Mira. There were still moments of doubt and pain, but they faced them together, openly discussing their fears instead of letting them fester. Trust was not rebuilt overnight, but every honest conversation and every small gesture added another brick to the foundation of their renewed relationship. Months later, as they sat together on their balcony, sipping tea and watching the sun dip below the horizon, Ravi turned to Mira and said, "I didn't know how much I missed this." Us? Mira smiled, placing her hand over his. "Me too. I'm glad we didn't give up." Their story wasn't perfect, but it was real, a testament to the power of love, forgiveness, and the willingness to fight for each other even when it seemed easier to walk away. As Ravi and Mira worked on their relationship, their bond grew stronger. They began to create new rituals that brought them closer. Friday evenings became their dedicated date night, free from work and distractions. Sometimes it was a fancy dinner, other times just a walk in the park, but it was always about them. No phones, no interruptions, just time to reconnect. One day, during a quiet moment, Mira shared a thought that had been lingering in her mind. "Do you think we needed to go through all that pain to realize how much we mean to each other?" she asked. Ravi looked at her thoughtfully before responding. "Maybe we did. It forced us to see what we were losing and what we needed to fix. I wish it hadn't come to that, but I'm glad we chose to fight for us." Their journey also taught them the importance of balance. Ravi began to draw clear boundaries with work, ensuring he didn't let his job overshadow his personal life. Mira started exploring hobbies that gave her joy independently, like painting and yoga, while still making time for their shared interests. They realized that a healthy relationship didn't mean being inseparable, but rather supporting each other's growth while staying deeply connected. As time passed, Ravi and Mira decided to renew their vows. It wasn't a grand ceremony, just an intimate gathering of close family and friends. They stood under a canopy of fairy lights, holding hands as they promised to cherish, respect, and love each other through every challenge and triumph. The ceremony was simple but deeply meaningful, a celebration of their resilience and commitment. Ravi and Mira's story became an inspiration to those around them. Friends who knew about their struggles often marveled at their transformation. "How did you do it?" a friend once asked Mira. She smiled and said, "By remembering that love isn't always perfect, but it's worth fighting for. And by choosing each other every single day." Years later, as they celebrated their 15th wedding anniversary, Ravi and Mira sat together surrounded by laughter, memories, and the life they had built together. Looking back, they saw not just the mistakes and pain, but also the growth, the lessons, and the unshakable bond that had emerged stronger than ever. Their story was a reminder that even in the face of brokenness, love could be rebuilt. Brick by brick, with patience, forgiveness, and unwavering effort, as life moved on, Ravi and Mira continued to grow not only as a couple, but also as individuals. They began embracing new challenges and opportunities together. Mira's boutique flourished, and Ravi became more involved in her business, helping her streamline operations with his technical expertise. She, in turn, encouraged Ravi to pursue a long-held dream of his, starting his own tech consultancy. Supporting each other in their ambitions became a shared joy, and they thrived as a team. Their renewed relationship also led them to reflect on their family plans. While they had delayed having children in the past due to their struggles, they began to have open discussions about starting a family. These conversations were filled with excitement, but also apprehension. Both Ravi and Mira wanted to ensure that their relationship was a stable and loving foundation before bringing a child into the world. After a few years of intentional planning and emotional preparation, Mira gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. They named her Tara, symbolizing the guiding star that would forever remind them of hope and light during dark times. Tara's arrival brought a fresh wave of joy into their lives. Ravi and Mira found themselves working together in new ways, taking turns with late-night feedings, sharing moments of wonder at her first words, and marveling at the simple joys of parenthood. Parenthood, though rewarding, came with its challenges. There were sleepless nights, endless worries, and the inevitable stress that comes with raising a child. But Ravi and Mira approached these hurdles differently now. Instead of letting stress create distance, they leaned on each other, openly sharing their fears and frustrations. One night, as they watched Tara sleep peacefully, Mira whispered to Ravi, "Can you believe how far we've come?" Ravi smiled, wrapping his arm around her. "It hasn't been easy, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Every struggle brought us here." As Tara grew older, Ravi and Mira made it a priority to instill values of love, honesty, and resilience in her. They often told her stories of their early days, gently weaving in lessons about the importance of communication, forgiveness, and never giving up on those you love. Tara grew up witnessing her parents' deep connection, finding inspiration in their unwavering partnership. Over the years, Ravi and Mira's love evolved into something even deeper, a bond that wasn't just about romance, but also about respect, trust, and shared dreams. They grew older together, finding beauty in the simple things. A quiet cup of tea on their balcony, shared laughter over family dinners, and the joy of watching Tara blossom into a confident, kind-hearted young woman. On their 25th wedding anniversary, surrounded by family and friends, Ravi raised a toast. "Life isn't perfect, and neither are we. But through every storm, we've found our way back to each other. Mira, you've been my anchor, my partner, and my best friend. Here's to the journey we've shared and the love that's carried us through." Mira smiled through tears, holding Ravi's hand tightly. Their story, once filled with cracks and doubts, now stood as a testament to the enduring power of love and commitment, a journey of healing, growth, and rediscovery that would be remembered for generations.